So this is the second in a series on controlling stress or managing stress, starting off with a couple of book reviews. This book review is on The Power of Now. It's a book by Eckhart Tolle, who, like Michael Singer, who wrote the other book, Untethered Soul, both were introduced to the popular press by a lady named Oprah Winfrey. And both of them basically wrote books that are westernization of Eastern thought or Buddhist thoughts. Both of them learned and trained in Buddhist thought processes. I'm going to help in this book review, basically going over this this whole thought process, which is very slippery for a Western mind like mine. As I mentioned in the overview, I bought my first of these two books back in 2007, and my Western mind went off into problems, put the book down, didn't pick it up for another 8 years. The goal of meditation isn't to control your thoughts. It's to stop letting them control you. Now, let's go back and go through some of the who, what, when, where, and why behind this whole thinker versus watcher in terms of meditation. Okay, so when? The power of now. Tolle is basically saying that the key to achieving mindfulness is most simply and reliably accessed by dropping past and future. The point to that is that past and when you're problem solving, when you're in the mind mode, you're looking at you're either going to be in a future mode or a past mode. And just think about, become aware of where your brain is, and if it's in future and past, you're going to be in a problem-solving mode. The thinker. Who? The thinker's caught up in problem-solving. He's caught up, it's like in an engaging movie. Because of the nature of problem-solving, the movie often becomes a horror show. There's an adult focus due to the need to take responsibility. Take responsibility for what's going on in life. The watcher, on the other hand, or the witness, is caught up in experiences instead of being caught up in problem solving. In daily life, it's easy to lose touch. Things like sports, high-speed activities, dancing, music, and bring help to focus back on the watcher. Paul Newman was an avid race car driver, and his point was, I can really focus when I'm at high speeds. In fact, I can't afford not to focus. Those of us who love games like basketball, when we've played them, you're in total focus when you're playing, if you're playing correctly. You have a childlike focus, experiencing the life instead of being preoccupied with problems and conflict. So that's the when and the who. How about the what? What is, if you're in the thinker mode, you're experiencing. If you're in the thinker mode, you're problem solving. If you're in the witness or watcher mode, you're experiencing. What's problem solving? It's examples: early awakening followed by worry and inability to sleep. Focus on conflicts and problems in life. Inability to enjoy simple things like a sunset. Your brain starts wandering off into what you'll have for dinner, what you're going to be doing this evening. what recent problem has occurred. With the watcher, you have an ability to enjoy things on a regular basis, such as a sunset. There's a very low worry per hour or preoccupation per hour rate. It's focused on simple, concrete things. Physical things like breathing, enjoyment of simple meals, and walks with the dog, again, instead of focusing on problems and how to solve them. Here's a quote from Tolle. He says, "Be the silent watcher of your thoughts and behavior. You are beneath the thinker. You are the stillness behind or beneath the mental noise." This is not a quote from Tolle, but this is a focus point on when. The goal of meditation isn't to control your thoughts. It's to stop letting them control you. The point behind that and when is this. Even most accomplished yogis would say, look, a huge portion of your life is still going to be wrapped up around problem solving. It's not to get rid of that problem solving part of your mind. It's to stop letting that problem solving part of your mind control you. So a couple of quick summary points: who, what, when, where, and how, why and how. Who, the thinker versus the watcher, in terms of the seat of consciousness. What, problem solving, that's the thinker, versus experiencing, that's the watcher or the witness. When, all the time. In the Western mind, we are all the time in thinker, problem-solving mode, to the extent that we can't get out of it. If you wake up at 2 in the morning and you're worried about something, that's when you begin to understand and fully, even in Western mind mode, experience the fact that you are not your mind. So again, that's where this is focused, being able to calm down that problem-solving mode. Again, when, now versus past and future. The thinker is living in problems. So problems focus the consciousness on past and future. The watcher, on the other hand, lives in the now. Hence the term, the title of the book, The Power of Now. Wherever you are, it's about where you're focusing. The thinker focuses on the problem and usually resistance or failure to accept. The watcher focuses on experience, can even focus on the thinker and acknowledge that there's a thinker going on. Again, that's where one of the many places where this can get really slippery for a Western mind. Watching the thinker creates a powerful ability to break out of that problem-solving mode. How do you do this? Well, there are multiple ways. One is, they talk about breathing, meditation. Be conscious of your breathing, count your breath. The Toulouse mindfulness method talks about the ability to do a body survey. By body survey, they mean relax the muscles of your face, become conscious of the muscles of your face. Become conscious of your breathing, the muscles in your arms, your legs, consciousness of relaxation. Again, much more of an experiential mode than a problem-solving mode. So you're placing your focus and then you're repeating. Another quick summary. So you're talking about time frame. In the thinker mode, it's past and future. In the watcher mode, it's now. Focus. For the thinker, the Western mode, it's focused on problems, goals. Good versus bad goes with that, because good is supporting getting to your goals and solving problems. Bad is doing the opposite. The watcher, on the other hand, is focused on something entirely different. They're focused on experiencing the now, the current. An emotional focus for each of these is very, very characteristic as well. The emotional focus for the thinker is avoidance of loss or fear of loss. Whereas the watcher is a little bit more focused on the quiet joy of discovery. Now, what about some examples? For those of us who've had problems managing our weight, here's a typical way, two different ways of looking at it. I overate. That's it. Game over. Another way of looking at it. So then you say, game over. The problem is there's a huge problem here. There's an emotional component to it. Ate too much. Again, looking into the past. Here, contrast it to this thought process, though. Overeating happens. I'll track it and plan my next meal. Yay me. So a little bit different focus in terms of saying, look, this kind of thing happens. I'm just like other people. I'm not different. There's no major failure here. I'm working on this, and again, that's just part of the experience. Thank you again for your interest.